Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unlock the secrets to a much more powerful workout. We're diving into the work of a truly legendary strength coach. And trust me, this framework could completely change how you see the gym. All right, let's just get right into it. Does this sound familiar? You're putting in the hours, you're following the routines you see online, but the results just aren't there. It's probably one of the biggest frustrations in fitness, and if you're feeling stuck, believe me, you are not alone. So, what's the problem? Well, as the legendary coach Charles Poliquin points out, the fitness world is just flooded with confusing and a lot of times flat-out contradictory advice. He says in the source that editors would sometimes literally just make up the routines they printed in magazines. So you might be following a plan that was essentially fiction. No wonder it's not working. But what if there was a way to cut through all that noise? You know, a systematic, science-based approach. Well, there is. So let's meet the man who had the answers. This right here, this is the Poliquin Principles. It's a book by Charles Poliquin, and he wasn't just another bodybuilder or coach. He was different. He came at strength training with the super detailed mind of a scientist, and he was obsessed with the core elements of what makes a workout truly effective. And you know what? His approach really delivered. Poliquin was widely seen as one of the best in the entire world. I mean, the guy trained medal-winning Olympians in over 22 different sports. He was the coach that other coaches went to when they needed to win. He got famous for one thing more than anything else. His methods worked, and they worked fast. And he didn't do it with some kind of magic secret. He did it by deeply understanding the basic variables of training, the stuff that anyone, including you, can learn and use. So how'd he do it? Okay, picture this. He saw every single workout like a control panel with 4 main dials. Once you understand what these dials are, you can fine-tune your training to hit any goal you have. The first, and honestly the most important dial, is repetitions, or what we all call reps. Poliquin calls this the master variable. And why is that? It's because the number of reps you pick actually controls everything else. How much weight you can lift, how long you should rest, it dictates the entire effect of your workout. Okay, next up, sets. Now here's a really cool insight from Poliquin. The number of sets you do should actually be inversely related to the size of the muscle you're working. So think about it. Smaller muscles, like your biceps, they recover faster, so they can handle more sets. But your bigger muscle groups, like your quads, they need fewer sets to get stimulated without being overtrained. Now for the dial that almost everybody completely ignores. Tempo. This is not just about moving weight up and down. It's about how fast you lift it and how fast you lower it. Seriously, controlling this one thing is one of the most powerful and totally underused tools for creating muscle tension and making things grow. So how do you even read this? Well, a tempo prescription like 401 is actually pretty simple. That first number, that's the eccentric phase, the lowering part. So you take 4 full seconds to lower the weight. The second number is any pause, and that third number is the concentric, or lifting part. So a powerful 1-second lift. Just focusing on this detail alone can totally revolutionize your gains. And finally, our fourth dial, rest intervals. This is not just dead time to check your phone, okay? It is a critical variable. How long you actually rest between your sets determines the exact kind of stress your body is going to be forced to adapt to. And this is where your goal becomes absolutely critical. If you're training for pure maximum strength, you need longer rest periods, like 3 minutes or even more. That lets you fully recover for that next heavy lift. But if your goal is hypertrophy, getting bigger muscles, then shorter rest periods create the metabolic stress that actually tells your muscles to grow. 2 very different goals, 2 very different rest strategies. So let's put this all together. By twisting these 4 dials, reps, sets, tempo, and rest, we can see exactly how you design a workout for 2 completely different outcomes, building muscle size versus building pure raw strength. Let's look right at the source material. Poliquin lays it out perfectly in these tables. For hypertrophy, or size, look at the dials. Higher reps, somewhere in that 6 to 12 range, with shorter rest times. The whole point here is to maximize time under tension and that metabolic stress. But now look at the dials for relative strength. It's a totally different formula. Very low reps, like 1 to 5, with much, much longer rest. This is all about training your nervous system to produce maximum force.
Okay, so once you've set your dials for your goal, how do you keep making progress? Well, it's not about making these huge, random jumps in weight. It's all about purposeful, tiny, incremental changes. And this brings us to one of Poliquin's most powerful and maybe kind of counterintuitive ideas.
Poliquin was a massive fan of the Kaizen principle. He actually borrowed this Japanese business philosophy of continuous improvement and applied it just brilliantly to weight training. The idea is so simple, but it's really profound. Just focus on making small, consistent, and measurable progress every single time.
What this means is you have to forget about ego lifting. Seriously, the key to long-term injury-free progress isn't about slapping another big 5-pound plate on the bar every single workout. No, it's about adding just a tiny bit more. Maybe it's just 1 pound, or 1 extra rep, or even shaving 1 second off your rest. It's about consistently asking for just a little more than you did last time.
And why do these tiny little steps matter so much? It's the magic of the compound effect. Poliquin pointed out that if you add just half a pound a week to a lift, that adds up to a 26-pound gain in 1 year. I mean, that is staggering progress, and it's built from these little steps that are almost too small to even notice.
So now you have it. You've got the framework. Instead of just kind of mindlessly going through the motions, you can become the architect of your own progress. Think about what you want. Is it size? Is it strength? Your workout is a control panel, and now you know where the dials are. The only question left is, how are you going to set them?